Hi guys and welcome to prediction week 30. So it's coming really late. I've had a really busy day today. So let's crack on with it. We start with the lunchtime kickoff tomorrow. Manchester United versus Liverpool. Yeah, they're not usually the kind of games that they always try and make it out to be. You know, they advertise it as this big, massive red derby weekend. It never really seems to be the case. You know, I think Liverpool will see a lot of the ball. To be honest, that's kind of how like Jurgen Klopp sets his teams out. You know, I think they'll go all guns blazing out. You know, as they usually do, and I think that Jose will play the way that he usually plays, which is like the tactical put 10 men behind the ball and play the on-ball game. And funny enough, they're good at doing it. You know, they get results. You know, so why would you change it when you get results? I know it stresses people out, but you know, he's like I say, he's very good at doing it. And Manchester United are in the table for where they are in the table for a reason. You know, it's going to be a very good tight game, this one actually, because I think because Manchester United beat Crystal Palace on Monday, I think Manchester United are now on 62 points, and Liverpool are on 60, I think. So it's quite interesting, this one. I think if Manchester United win this one, I think you could possibly more or less say that Manchester United will finish second. If Liverpool win it, then I think it's game on. You know, it's going to be a couple of more games, or we could be stuck in the middle and be exactly where we are at the end of the game. Which I'm going to go for that actually. I'm going to go Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. Like I say, because I think Jose will play the tactical way and he'll try and grind out a result, which he's very good at doing. And as I say, I think Liverpool will score because they're very good at attacking, but they haven't got. Well, I don't want to say like they haven't got goal scorers, because that Mohamed Salah, he seems to knock it a lot in for him, and so does what's his name, Roberto Firmino. But they still haven't got like that world class striker yet. That's, you know, what we've seen over the years. You know, with like Michael Owen and Luis Suarez, Fernando Torres. They haven't really seemed to replaced Suarez or Owen or any of them yet. So for me, I'll go 1-1 for this game, but for Liverpool in general, I think for them to be really tight, tough contenders next year, and to possibly even win it next year, I think in the summer they need to go out and buy themselves a really good goalkeeper and that really world class striker as well. And I really think that Liverpool could be challenging next year, and as I say, they might even win the title as well if they can strengthen in certain areas which they need to. Let's go to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now. We have Newcastle versus Southampton. Again, this is going to be a really tight game, actually. Newcastle at home, it's always a horrible place to go to. You know, Southampton have not had the best of seasons, but I think it's going to be a tight, tough game. I'm going to go Newcastle 1, Southampton 1. Both in need of 3 points, I think, there, but just can't see them getting it. We then have Everton versus Brighton. And again, you know, I thought Brighton were fantastic against Arsenal last week, actually. I think they were very unlucky to only win 2-1. You know, they should have been out of sight by half time last week. You know, and I think they tired. You know, towards the end, they just had nothing left in the tank because they gave everything. They gave their all in the first half. But it's going to be a different kind of game tomorrow. They're away from home for a start. So I think that Everton will nick it. I'm going to go Everton 2, Brighton 1. We then have Huddersfield versus Swansea, and again, two teams that, you know, desperately need a 3 points. Obviously, Swansea a lot more than Huddersfield, but it's at Huddersfield. I think that Huddersfield will get the win. I'm going to go Huddersfield 2, Swansea 1. We then have West Bromwich Albion versus Leicester. A bit of a derby there. Again, West Brom, massive need of 3 points. Can't see them getting it. You know, Leicester, depends what kind of Leicester turns up. I think because it's a derby, we'll see the old Leicester, you know, and they get in your face and Jeremy Vardy's pouncing and everything. And I think that they'll nick it. I'm going to go West Bromwich Albion 1, Leicester 2. We then have West Ham versus Burnley. Again, West Ham's in need of 3 points, but I can't see them getting it. I think that, I'm not saying that Burnley are going to set the world alight, but I think they are the better side than West Ham, and I think they'll nick it. I'm going to go West Ham 1, Burnley 2. 5:30, we have Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Quite an interesting one, this one actually. I thought Crystal Palace were unlucky to lose to Manchester United on Monday for a start. again, same as Brighton. They just ran out of gas, and obviously Manchester United were just too strong for them. And absolutely fantastic strike as well from Nemanja Matic. I think it was the 93rd or 94th minute. That's a real killer, for Crystal Palace. Chelsea, they've got Barcelona in mind for Wednesday, so it depends what kind of team they're going to put out. Yes, they want top 4, but also they want to give themselves a really good go against Barcelona. Having said that, I do expect them. It is at Stamford Bridge, so I do expect them to beat Crystal Palace at home. Just about that. I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1. We now go to the Sunday kickoffs. At 1:30 we have Arsenal versus Watford. A good win for Arsenal yesterday against AC Milan. I don't know if it was the fact that Arsenal, had a really good team talk and they got their act together, or AC Milan were just really that poor. But nevertheless, it was a really good result. Hopefully it's give us a little bit of confidence, and we can kind of, I don't want to say kickstart, because I think our season's over now anyway, but we can just get just about see the end of the season through without having these stupid results anymore. Well, I hope so anyway. I think Arsenal should just about nick it against Watford. I'm not that confident in saying that, but I think they should just about beat. I'm going to go Arsenal 1, Watford 0. At 4:00 we have Bournemouth versus Tottenham again. It was a really good game between Tottenham and Juventus in the Champions League, and again, Tottenham's spirits are probably going to be a bit low now they got knocked out of the Champions League. Bournemouth, they make things hard for teams. We've seen that over the season and over the last couple of seasons actually. But again, I think Tottenham will be too strong for Bournemouth. I say too strong. I'm going to go into just about nick it. I'm going to go Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 2. And then at 8:00 on Monday we have Stoke versus Manchester City. Stoke's had a really poor season. They've not really been the Stoke that we've seen over the years, where they frustrate teams, they park the bus and they get in your face and they're rough. They've not really been that kind of Stoke this season. And I think that Manchester City, I can't see them struggling with it at all. I know it's at Stoke, but I can't see them struggling with it at all. I'm going to go Stoke 0, Manchester City 2. So that has been my predictions for this weekend, guys, and I will see you next week's predictions. Thank you for watching, guys.